The grass is tall, the air is still, and in the golden light of sunset, something unbelievable is about to happen. A leopard, silent as a shadow, slides through the savanna like smoke. Its spotted coat melts into the dry reeds. Its belly stays low. Every muscle is tight. Ahead, two warthogs graze near a dusty termite mound. One is bigger, an older female with long, curved tusks and a scar above her eye. The other is smaller, young, fast, and still learning what danger truly looks like. They don't see the leopard. Not yet. The leopard pauses, watches, calculates. 1 step, 2 steps. Then, everything breaks at once. The leopard bursts from the grass like a fired arrow, aiming straight for the younger warthog. The young warthog squeals and rockets forward, hooves snapping dry twigs and spraying sand. But the leopard is faster. Closer, closer. Just when it looks like the hunt is over, the older warthog whips around. She doesn't run. She charges. Her head drops low. Her tusks angle forward like 2 sharp moons. The leopard flinches, just for half a second. And that half second becomes the difference between life and death. Because the younger warthog doesn't keep running. He turns 2. Now both warthogs face the leopard. 2 against 1. For a heartbeat, nobody moves. Only dust drifts between them, glowing orange in the sunset. Then the warthogs push forward, together, like 2 bulldozers. The leopard steps back. Again. Again. Its ears flatten. Its tail lashes. Its eyes flick between those tusks. Left, right, left, trying to find a safe opening. But there isn't one. The leopard, built to hunt, is now being forced to retreat by the very animals it expected to crush in seconds. Then the older warthog suddenly lunges. The leopard leaps sideways, barely escaping. Grass whips. Dust erupts. The termite mound vibrates with the impact. And for one breathtaking moment, the savanna holds its breath. Because tonight, the warthogs are not prey. Tonight, they've turned the tables. How did 2 warthogs, animals that usually run, become bold enough to force a leopard to back down? And what happened earlier that prepared them for this impossible stand? Before we dive in, drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoy animal stories like this, be sure to like the video, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share it with someone who'd love it too. 3 weeks earlier, the story begins with thirst. The dry season has tightened its grip on the land. The grass is brittle. The wind is hot. And every step across the savanna feels risky because water is running out. A tough older warthog, the mother of this small family, moves carefully through the heat. Her scar isn't decoration. It's history. It tells the story of claws, panic, and escape. Behind her trots a younger warthog, curious and restless, always sniffing things he shouldn't. He still has the bouncy energy of youth, like the world is a playground instead of a battlefield. Their home is a burrow, an old tunnel dug long ago by an aardvark. Inside, the earth is cool, safe, quiet. Warthogs are not the strongest animals out here. They don't have horns like buffalo or speed like gazelles. Their strength is something else. They survive by knowing when to run and exactly where to run to. But in the dry season, staying hidden isn't an option. They have to travel to water, and waterholes are where hunters go shopping. Not far away, tucked into the branches of a large acacia tree, a leopard rests like a coiled spring. Young, hungry, patient. A leopard hunts alone, which makes every meal a gamble. If it gets injured, it can't hunt. And if it can't hunt, it doesn't live long. So it watches. It studies the savanna the way a smart student studies a test. It learns what animals arrive. Who comes alone? Who is distracted? Who panics easily? For days, it has been visiting the same waterhole, waiting for the right moment. Then it sees them. 2 warthogs. The older one looks sharp, too sharp. But the younger one. Young ones are always tempted by curiosity. And curiosity creates mistakes. The leopard's golden eyes follow the younger warthog like magnets. A quiet decision forms in its mind. Not today, but soon. The waterhole is busy when the warthogs arrive. Zebras drink in groups, bumping shoulders. Bright birds hop along the muddy edge, pecking at seeds. Even the water seems tense, as if it's holding secrets. The older warthog moves like she's stepping through an invisible trap. Her ears flick constantly. Her nose tests the wind again and again. The younger warthog, excited by the smell of wet mud, trots ahead. Too far ahead. The older warthog snorts sharply. That sound is a command. Come back. The younger one freezes and returns to her side like a child returning to a parent's hand. They drink fast. No playing. No relaxing. But then the younger warthog sees something tempting. A patch of fresh roots near tall reeds. Soft, easy food. He wanders toward it. 1 step. 2 steps. The older warthog lifts her head, suddenly stiff. Everything changes in her face. She can't see anything, but she feels something. Then the grass twitches. A shape flickers. For 1 second, a leopard's face appears, so still it looks carved from stone. 2 bright eyes. Watching. Studying. Then it disappears again. No attack. Just a message. I'm here. The younger warthog stares at the spot, his ears shaking. And for the first time, he understands something important. That tall grass isn't just tall grass. It's where danger hides. Over the next week, the older warthog changes. She doesn't take the same path twice. She stops often. She makes the young one stay close. And without meaning to, she begins training him. One evening, a jackal creeps near their burrow entrance, hoping to steal scraps or scare the young warthog. The young one panics and tries to bolt, but the older warthog steps in front of him. She lowers her head. Her tusks catch the sunlight. The jackal freezes. It expected fear. Instead, it meets a wall. The older warthog charges just a few steps, enough to send the jackal scrambling away. The young warthog watches with wide eyes. She didn't run. She didn't hide. She faced the threat. Later that night, as they return to the burrow, she backs into the tunnel, keeping her tusks aimed outward. The young one copies her. Again and again. A warthog's best defense is the burrow, but the second best defense is learning not to show fear. The leopard keeps watching. Each day it gets hungrier, and hunger changes predators. It makes them impatient. It makes them take risks. It tries to sneak close twice, but each time, the older warthog senses it first. Her snort alarms birds. Her sudden movement makes zebras shuffle and stare. And chaos is bad for a leopard. Finally, the leopard changes its plan. Instead of trying to fight the older warthog's awareness, it waits for the wind. Because a leopard doesn't just hunt with claws. It hunts with timing. On a cloudy afternoon, the warthogs approach the waterhole again. The wind shifts. This time, the older warthog can't smell the leopard. The leopard is downwind. Invisible. The young warthog steps forward. The older one steps behind him. And in that tiny space between them, the leopard sees the opening it has been waiting for. The leopard launches. The world explodes. Birds blast into the sky like confetti. Zebras jerk their heads up. Dust bursts from the ground. The younger warthog squeals and sprints toward a termite mound, legs pumping wildly. But the leopard is right behind him. Fast. Too fast. The leopard reaches out, almost grabbing. The younger warthog stumbles. And in that instant, everything should end. But the older warthog makes the choice that changes the story. She turns around. She charges. Not out of anger. Not because she wants to fight a leopard, but because losing the young one means the end of her family. She becomes a storm of muscle and determination. Head low. Tusks forward. The leopard sees her coming and leaps sideways, dodging the tusks by inches. It avoids the strike, but it loses control of the hunt. The young warthog scrambles up, heart pounding. Now the leopard has a problem. Because the young warthog doesn't run again. He turns. He faces the leopard. He stands beside the older warthog. 2 warthogs. 1 leopard. The leopard snarls, trying to scare them. But the warthogs step forward. Together. The older one leads. The younger one follows, snorting loudly, trying to look bigger than he feels. The leopard backs up. Again. Again. The leopard's eyes dart between tusks. Its confidence slips. This wasn't supposed to happen. And then comes the moment nobody expects. The older warthog charges so close the leopard has no choice but to leap back into the reeds. It lands awkwardly, not badly injured, but shaken. And suddenly, the leopard is no longer the hunter. It's the one retreating. 2 warthogs have turned the tables. But the savannah isn't done. As the leopard backs away, the grass behind the warthogs begins to move again. Slowly, silently. It's not the leopard. It's something else. Something bigger. And it's heading straight toward the younger warthog. The grass behind the warthogs sways again. Not from wind. Not from the leopard. This movement is heavier, slower, like something large is pushing through the reeds without care. The older warthog freezes mid-step. Her ears twist backward. Her nostrils flare wide. For one terrifying second, she isn't looking at the leopard anymore. She's listening to the world behind her. The younger warthog, still brave from the chase, takes a step forward, snorting at the leopard like he's twice his size. But bravery without awareness is dangerous, because the real threat is no longer in front of them. It's behind them. The reeds part, and out steps a lioness, low to the ground, eyes locked, tail flicking like a warning sign. She isn't charging. She doesn't need to. A lioness hunts with patience and confidence, because she knows her strength is overwhelming. The leopard sees her too, and instantly, everything changes. Leopards may be powerful, but they avoid lions whenever possible. A lion can kill a leopard, not even out of hunger, but simply to remove competition. The leopard's body shifts sideways, head lowering, deciding whether to climb or vanish. But it can't vanish without risking something worse. Because now the warthogs are trapped between two predators. A leopard in front, a lioness behind. The savannah has turned into a silent triangle of danger. The younger warthog finally senses it. He turns his head, and the moment he sees the lioness, the courage drains from his face like water. His legs stiffen. His breathing becomes quick and loud. He looks to the older warthog, almost begging without words. What do we do? The older warthog doesn't panic. She has no time. Her eyes flash between the leopard and the lioness, calculating in the only way a wild mother can calculate. Not with hope, but with survival. There is one chance. Not to fight them both, but to break their focus. Predators need control. They need order. So she creates chaos. The older warthog snaps her jaws and charges, not at the lioness, but diagonally, straight toward the leopard. The leopard recoils in surprise. It was already stressed by the lioness, and now these tusks are coming back at it again. The leopard leaps sideways, claws scraping the dirt, and in that split second, the lioness sees her opening. She rushes forward, fast, silent, deadly. The younger warthog squeals and bolts. But the lioness is built for this. She gains ground instantly. Dust roars under her paws like thunder. The older warthog spins around, heart pounding so hard her whole body seems to shake. And now she does something that looks impossible. She puts herself between the lioness and the younger warthog. She charges head-on. Tusks first. No hesitation. The lioness slows, not because she's afraid, but because she's cautious. A lioness has learned something very important in her life. Hooves and horns can injure. Tusks can injure too. And a hunting injury can cost everything. The lioness angles left, trying to slip around. The older warthog matches her. Left. Left again. The younger warthog is running toward the termite mound, the only landmark close enough to matter. But he's too slow. He's tired. His legs are shaking. He stumbles. Just for a half second. And that's the moment the lioness surges. The distance closes like a door slamming shut. The older warthog lets out a harsh, explosive snort, almost like a battle cry. Then she charges again. This time, she doesn't aim for the lioness's face. She aims for the lioness's side, where the lioness is most vulnerable to pain. The lioness lifts her paw to strike, but she can't strike without risking the tusks. And the older warthog gets close enough that the lioness must choose, take a dangerous hit, or step back. The lioness steps back, just one step, but that's all the younger warthog needs. He reaches the termite mound and whips around it, using it as a shield. Now the lioness must go around too. The chase loses speed. The angles change. This is what prey animals do when the open world becomes too deadly. They turn the land itself into a weapon. The older warthog stays near the mound, snorting, circling, refusing to let the lioness get a clean path. The lioness growls low, irritated. She tries to feint right. The older warthog blocks. She feints left. Blocked again. The younger warthog is still breathing hard, eyes wide, but he's learning, fast. He stays close to the mound. He copies the older warthog's movement. And for the first time, it looks like they might actually escape. But then the leopard moves again. Up until now, the leopard has been watching like a frustrated thief. The leopard can't take on a lioness, but it can take advantage of confusion. It slips from the reeds, trying to circle behind. The lioness sees the leopard's movement and snarls, warning him off. The leopard freezes. The lioness steps toward him aggressively. And in that moment, both predators shift their attention away from the warthogs. It's only for seconds. But seconds are everything. The older warthog understands immediately. She looks at the younger warthog and grunts, a deep, commanding sound. Not fear. A signal. Now, run. The younger warthog bursts away from the termite mound toward the burrow trail, one last desperate sprint. The older warthog runs after him, but not directly. She runs in a zigzag, staying loud, keeping herself visible, keeping predator eyes on her, not the young one. The lioness turns back toward the movement, choosing the easier target. The leopard stiffens too, seeing the opportunity to steal a chase. For a terrifying moment, it looks like the two predators might both chase the same prey. But then something unexpected happens. The older warthog stops. She turns around mid-run, and she charges again, straight at them. Not at the leopard, not at the lioness, at the space between them. A warning charge, aggressive, fearless, loud. This is not a mother asking. This is a mother demanding. The leopard jumps back immediately. The lioness halts again, annoyed, eyes narrowed. She expected panic. She expected prey. Instead, she is being challenged. And wild predators, even lions, respect one thing deeply: an animal that refuses to surrender. The older warthog isn't trying to win. She's trying to buy time. And it works. The lioness pauses, calculating risk. The leopard backs away further. Both predators now have the same thought: this isn't worth injury. The young warthog reaches the burrow entrance first. He dives inside head first, then turns around in the tunnel, backing up until his tusks face outward, exactly like he was taught. The older warthog arrives right after. She slips into the burrow too, backing in, making herself a bristling wall at the entrance. Outside, the lioness stands in the dust. The leopard lingers in the grass. Both stare at the burrow, but neither enters. Because burrows are dangerous. In tight tunnels, tusks can stab, claws can get trapped, and predators lose their advantage. The lioness flicks her tail, unhappy. She stares one last time, then turns away, melting into the grass. The leopard watches her leave, then glances toward the burrow like he's embarrassed. And he disappears too. Silence returns. Inside the burrow, the younger warthog trembles beside the older one. He presses close to her shoulder, breathing hard, eyes blinking fast. A moment earlier, he was brave. Now he is simply alive. The older warthog doesn't celebrate. Wild animals don't cheer. But she nudges him gently, just once. A simple touch. A message. You listened. You learned. You survived. Outside, the sun sinks lower, painting the savannah in gold and red. And in this harsh world, that is the closest thing to victory there is. Because today, two warthogs didn't just escape predators. They forced a leopard to retreat. They delayed a lioness without surrendering. And together, they reached safety. Not because they were stronger, but because they were smarter. Because they used the land. They used teamwork. And most of all, they refused to panic. In a world where fear decides everything, they chose something else. They chose each other. If you enjoyed this full wildlife documentary, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next incredible animal story.